The H-1B visa program, man, it's been in the news a lot.
Yeah, it's causing a lot of debate, particularly within the Republican Party.
Yeah, you've got kind of this battle brewing between like the more Maggi America First wing, and then you've got like the more Silicon Valley tech side of the party.
Right, and it's a really interesting debate because it really gets to the heart of some fundamental questions about like immigration and the economy in the 21st century.
For sure. So before we really get into it, if this kind of stuff interests you, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Absolutely.
So let's introduce some of the key players here, just so everyone's on the same page, right?
Okay.
So Laura Loomer.
Yeah.
Far-right activist, very vocal about her views. She's been a major critic of the H-1B program, specifically when the name Sim Krishnan came up as a potential White House AI advisor.
Yeah, Sim Krishnan, who's a very successful tech entrepreneur and venture capitalist.
Right. So Loomer, she was really opposed to his nomination.
Yep. Yeah, and the reason for that was because Krishnan had previously supported removing the cap on the number of H-1B visas that are granted each year.
So basically, just kind of open the doors, let more people in.
Right. And her argument, Loomer's argument, was that this would essentially flood the market with foreign workers.
Which would then displace American workers.
Right, exactly. And this is a very common concern among people who subscribe to that America First kind of approach to economic policy.
Yeah, and it's something to consider for sure, right? I mean, if you're looking at it from the perspective of, American jobs for American workers, then I can see why that would be a concern.
Right.
But then on the other side of this, you've got some pretty big names. You got Elon Musk and David Sachs.
Yep.
Who making the counter argument.
Right, and they're saying that if we limit the number of H-1B visas, we're actually gonna hurt the U.S. economy.
Right, it'll stifle innovation.
Exactly, because we're not going to be able to attract the best and brightest from around the world.
Right, especially in fields like tech. I mean, these are the cutting edge industries where talent is so important.
Absolutely, and Musk has been very outspoken about this.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's even called critics of the H-1B program countable fools, I believe is the phrase he used.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back, does he?
He doesn't mince words.
No, he doesn't. But what's really interesting to me is that, you have Donald Trump who, I mean, his whole political brand is built on America First.
Right.
And even he is in agreement with Musk on this one.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. He actually came out and expressed support for the H-1B program, saying that, we need to be able to attract the top talent.
Right, that it's about, staying competitive on a global scale.
Exactly. So it's really interesting to see that even within, that America First framework, there's still this recognition that, foreign workers can play a valuable role.
Yeah, it's definitely not a simple issue. I mean, there are valid points on both sides. So this kind of leads to a question for all of you listening. Do you think bringing in foreign workers through the H-1B program ultimately helps or hurts the U.S. economy?
It's something to think about. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying this discussion so far, don't forget to give us a like. It really helps us out.
It does.
Okay, so even though like Musk and Trump agree on this, they both have said, that the program itself, the way it's currently set up, isn't perfect.
Right. And there are definitely legitimate concerns about potential abuse of the system.
Right. Like, are companies using it to find cheaper labor?
Exactly. Yeah. And are they really making a good faith effort to hire American workers first?
Right. So it's not just a simple yes or no, should we have it or should we not?
No, it's much more nuanced than that.
And then you throw in, Charlie Kirk, conservative commentator. He comes into the picture and he's saying this whole H-1B fight is just a way to divide the Republican Party.
Right. He sees it as a distraction from, what he considers to be more important issues.
Right. So he's saying, hey, let's not get bogged down in this kind of infighting. Let's focus on the bigger picture.
Exactly. And then you have Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh, yeah. He's always got something interesting to say.
Right. He's an entrepreneur, political commentator. He's running for president.
Right.
And he agrees with Kirk.
This is all a distraction.
Yeah, and he even goes a step further and says that U.S. companies actually prefer foreign workers because native-born Americans lack drive.
Whoa, okay, that's a pretty bold statement.
Yeah.
But I mean, it does raise a question, right?
Yeah.
How do we make sure that any immigration policy including the H1-B, is really benefiting all Americans.
Right. How do we strike that balance? How do we attract global talent but also protect American workers?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one, right?
It's a tough one. There's no easy answers.
No, but it's something that we need to figure out.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how the Republican Party and, frankly, the country as a whole navigates this whole issue going forward.
For sure. I mean, this H-1B debate, it really goes beyond just, talking points and slogans. It's really about how America sees itself in this globalized world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you want to stay on top of, big, complicated issues like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button.
Yeah, and if you found this discussion interesting, give us a like. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for joining us.